Welcome to Tao Living, the Art of Living podcast with your host, Lou Corletto, where you will be supported to remember that you are the driver and not the vehicle, so that you can walk your life in trust. Welcome to this episode of the Tao Living podcast, the Art of Living. And today is all about the difference between feeling better and better feeling. Everybody wants to feel better, and that's a beautiful thing, something you should continually aspire to, for sure. However, let's get clear on how that works and the differences between these two, because they're critical. One, most people, right? So we've grown up in a society where the feeling better part has been driven really by some form of sedation to feel better, because we don't like the way we feel. And that can be done with suppressing our feelings. It can be done through a massive usage, which is something from the outside, right? Alcohol, drugs, medicines, prescriptions, they're drugs. There's various ways that we can sedate, and the world teaches us sedate. You don't have to feel that way. Take this, yada, yada, yada. But let's unpack some real specific things around that, which is something really practical, right? So somebody wakes up, they have a headache. They don't like the way they feel, right? And they want to feel better. So they take something, whatever, an aspirin. And then a few minutes later, wow, I feel better. So not true. Impossible, actually. The drug works by blocking synapses in your brain so you can't feel. Your head's still pounding. You just can't feel it. The thing you put in didn't magically cure the headache. It stopped you from feeling it. So the truth is you feel less. So the difference between feeling better and better feeling, not less feeling, right? And again, I have no judgment about that. I'm bringing to the conscious awareness of, are you achieving what you're really after? And then we start lying to ourselves because of what we've been taught. Lying meaning, I feel better. You can't. You feel less. I get what you're saying is, I can't feel my head, and that's what I wanted. That was the goal. I don't feel the pain in my head or the pain in my knee or butt or wherever it was speaking to you at, right? So oftentimes that goal to feel better, I get it. And back in the day, my sedation of choice was definitely alcohol, right? Meaning when things wasn't feeling right, got frustrated with people, knock back a couple beers, right? And that's a form of sedation, to not feel what I was currently feeling. So I'm bringing that piece about feeling better up first, because that's essential to be mindful of how you're achieving feeling better, right? Are you really feeling better? Now, there's an adage in healing, which is you can't heal what you can't feel. So as soon as we sedate something, you have a sensation in your body and you don't like it. And however you sedate that, stuff it, suppress it, ignore it, or duct tape it, right? Hide it with something. You can't heal anymore because it's now out of sight, out of mind, which is what the symptom or the signs were all about, was to get your attention. Knock, knock, hello, we need to have a conversation. Your inner body is saying to you, right? Your inner wisdom is asking you to engage in a conversation. Why do you feel this way? Yep. So shifting into that place of better feeling. Now, better feeling is, in its true essence, is simply being present with what you're feeling. We've spent so much time running away from the unpleasant feelings towards the pleasant feelings. But in the unpleasant feelings, there's also a massive amount of life and growth and healing and opportunity. We've been taught to be afraid of those feelings, those body sensations. I don't like the way this feels, so run. I don't like the way this feels, so hide. I don't like the way this feels, so sedate. I get it, but consistently, not going to get anywhere. And everything that we suppress and sedate has to circle around and come back. Yep, that's the way it works. If you bypass the lesson, it's going to reveal itself in a different way, and usually louder and longer, because we've took something that was acute and made it chronic, right? This is one of the underpinnings of the whole disaster of the so-called healthcare system that we have across the world now, but definitely in the United States, is it's symptom treatment, which just takes acute things and make them chronic. Look around, people. If the model worked, as a society, we'd be getting healthier, and that's simply not true, right? On so many different parameters. So how can we change that outcome? Not only globally, but individually for you. Learn to have better feeling, meaning be with all of it. Be with all of it. The unpleasant feelings, the pains, what's under the pain, right? Because pain is just a signal, that's all. I'll come back to that in a second. Feel the grief, feel the hurt, feel the sadness, feel the shame, feel all of it. Because now you're expanding your bandwidth. Because when we don't, we have a smaller bandwidth, which makes us emotionally fragile. When you have a greater bandwidth, you have emotional strength. And in this day and age, it's essential to have emotional strength and a greater bandwidth to do that. And that happens by learning to have better feeling, not feeling better, right? Now, in context, when you learn to have better feeling, you will continue to feel better. By just focusing on feeling better, you're going to only want to achieve the yummy feelings and keep hiding, sedating, and running from the unpleasant feelings. Those unpleasant feelings are packed full of information. Listen to them, right? So back to the pain piece. In my world, pain has one function, period. One, to get your attention. That's it. That's its sole purpose, to get your attention. But that's not the end. That's just the attention getter. Now, what does it want from you, right? So I touch a hot stove, ow, it hurts. I pull my hand away. The pain was to let me know that I was doing something to harm myself. The action was pull my hand away. Silly, get your hand off the hot stove. If I didn't listen to the pain, I just kept it there, well, I'm damaging my hand. So what's under the pain, right? I have pain in my chest. What's under the pain? Sadness, grief, despair, heartache. Because when you get to those feelings, then you can move through the emotions that will set you free, and then you won't need the pain. Remember, pain is only to get your attention. So how do we move through the emotions? Well, that's what they mean. Emotions, energy in motion. Most people don't do that anymore. We stuff those feelings and talk about them. I have anger. Unless you're emoting it, you don't. You're just storing it, right? So the frustration and the angers, they get stored in the body, wherever you choose to store them. In your tissues, the muscles, in your organs, in your joints. And over time, that's why they start breaking down and having problems, because you're storing forms of energy that aren't meant to be stored. They're meant to be moved, emote, emotion. So how can you get those out of your body and emote them? Well, there's all kinds of ways. Movement, breath, vocalizing, having a conniption, right? Meaning get it out of your system. If you're angry, get angry in a healthy way. Don't project it on somebody, but get it out of your own system. Go out into nature and scream your head off. Do something to move the energy through your body. It's essential. So feeling better is a nice goal. Be mindful of how you get there. Better feeling is a greater goal because it allows us to expand our emotional bandwidth and allows us to fully be present with all that life is and all that you are and all the information that it's gifting you with to learn, grow, and evolve. If you would like to go down this rabbit hole in the most beautiful way, guided with support, Join us October 12 to 15 on the 4-day Tao Living Immersion, where we will help you to grow your bandwidth by having better feeling with all the different processes we use. Breath, cold plunge, different kinds of breath, all kinds of different kinds of breath. Breath holds, hyperventilation work that goes past the mind and accesses the cellular structure to move stuff out you didn't even know you were carrying in your body. All kinds of different tools. Fire walks. We will have all kinds of tools to move stuff through your system, right? So we can access these emotions and then emote them and move through. Yeah? And that's just a small part of what the 4-day immersion is about. But if that resonates and you're looking to move to the next level of your health, your well-being, your mindset, your confidence, your competence, click the link below and check it out. The 4-day Tao Living, the Art of Living Immersion. It's in a sacred place. We have a beautiful sanctuary at the foothills of the Cherokee National Forest. Lydia and I will be facilitating. We'll have some guest speakers come in as well. Intimate group, only 20 people. So we're getting some serious work done. Yeah. But it'll be an emotional roller coaster. It'll be fun. It'll be intense. It'll be real and authentic. And you'll have time to integrate. And then we'll get back into it. And time to integrate. And at the end of 4 days, a radically different person with tools walking in life different now. Yeah. Thanks for tuning in to this episode of Tao Living Podcast. Subscribe on YouTube, follow on the other podcast channels, and help us get this into other people's hearts and minds. Share it. Yep. We'd appreciate that. Until next time, abundant blessings. Peace. To connect further and dive deeper, you can always reach me at my website, loucorletto.com, LOUCORLETO, or in the social channels, Facebook, loucorletto.official, Instagram, Lou_Corletto, Twitter, Lou_Corletto, and LinkedIn. Until next time, remember who you be. Abundant blessings.